What was your gross profit?
We expect to break even by Q4.
No, you need to answer the question.
I haven't made. We have. We are.
You don't make any gross profit?
Not yet. No.
Do you know what gross profit is?
Oh.
Yes, I know what gross profit is.
What is it?
DANGERFIELD, Dangerfield.
All right there, you scintillating takers of sensual sabbaticals. We're back with another Dragon's Den reaction video. But before we start, I want a favour from you. You help me, I'll help you with the edutainment you get here. What is your ideal length? You can't, it's unavoidable. You can't say length without, anyway. What is your ideal length? Size does matter. But I made one that was 50 minutes long. I made one that was 60 minutes long. I made one that was 20 minutes long. What would be your ideal length? Put it in the comments. I'll add them all together. I'll do a mean average. An angry average. Is that a mean average? Isn't that? It's a joke about the mean averages. And ignore it completely. So let's crack on. Now, I haven't seen this, but I have seen the first minute or so because I already tried to do this and I pressed pause when I should have pressed play and play when I should have pressed pause. Oh, a right palaver it were. Here we go. Seaweed.
Hello. I'm Fiona Houston from Mara Seaweed, and this is Rory McPhee, my seaweed hunter.
Oh, I was about to make a comment on Seaweed Hunter, but they showed me the lovely Sarah Willingham. Hello, Sarah, if you're watching this, I have rubbed shoulders with the well-to-do, the rich and famous, the celebrity, the glitterati. I wouldn't be out of place in a bed made for you and I. I love you so much, you strange little dwarven beauty. Anyway.
We turn this humble seaweed, this forgotten superfood, into beautiful premium seasonings that are
No, seasonings. Mum, what's for lunch? Oh, we've got steak and kidney pie, mashed potato, and cabbage. Oh, got any seaweed to put on that?
delicious and healthy alternative to salt.
Hey.
I'm here to.
Yeah, you don't get a gut like that from her Seaweed Hunter. Now, Seaweed Hunter is a bit weird, isn't it? What, is he your supplier? Because I'm getting a really weird sexual untension here. And a sexual untension is more interesting than sexual tension. Because it takes two to tango. It takes two to get sexual tension. But unsexual tension or sexual untension, doesn't matter, is when you've just got Rory lingering because he thinks he's going to get a bit of action. You ain't.
Ask you for £100,000 for 3%.
Fucking hell. 100 foul for 3%. 3.3 million. So, 3.3 million. So to be making that net profit, you've got to be selling about 10 mil. I imagine seaweed's quite a high profit margin. But still, you'll be looking at turning over somewhere between 7 and 10 mil to make that valuation worthwhile. Which bodes well for us, because this will fall apart. I mean, look at Rory's boat race. Look, he knows. Look at that. You can't make that face up. That's the face of a man who's just heard her valuation. And look at it. He swallowed his pride, he swallowed his balls, he's not swallowing hers. Let's go.
Of our business.
He ain't swallowed any seaweed. Out here, I live in Cambodia if you don't know, out here we eat seaweed all the time. It hangs up in shops, it's a snack food, and they've got like chili flavour, there's a shrimp flavour, and it comes in sheets, and it's actually really nice and very nutritional. That's been proven. But you know, you're not going to replace a flavour enhancer like salt to put on food. I mean, the only thing you can imagine it going well with, off the top of my head, would be something like sushi, you know, which is frequently made with seaweed.
We are 2/3 of the way through our second round of funding,
I love you.
which we're going to close out in the
I don't love you.
next couple of months. And we are going to build this company into a £7 million export.
Why would you just say that? What, because you want to? We're going to build this into a 7 mil export company. Because I bet it's because they want to. I bet they have got no business plan, no previous figures suggesting that level of year-on-year growth. They just want to. And because she's got Rory tell us a story that's sniffing around, he's probably been going, no, I can see that happening, any chance of a touch.
Brand, with 70% of our sales coming from exports. Since we launched our products last year in premium retailers in the UK, like Harrods and Harvey Nichols.
Which they always say this on here. On here, they love that. Oh, we've got it in Harrods and Harvey Nichols. Well, what is that? Like 3 shops? I mean, there's not a Harrods in every city in England, is there? It's like 1. Harvey Nichols, what, 2? It's not, you know, if you say I've got this in Sainsbury's, smash. If I've got it in Lidl even, smash. I've got it in a couple of shops that bought 40 off me because, you know, it's no real risk. It's not a big selling point.
We've extended throughout the retail in the UK, and we launched in Marks and Spencer's nationwide last week.
Now, that is impressive. That is impressive. However, again, the question will be, how many did they take off you? How is it positioned in the shop? What's the deal? Because Marks and Spencer's, you know, some of you could ring up Marks and Spencer's with a product. They'll go, yeah, we'll take it. They might give you half a square foot on one of the right at the bottom of the end aisle that no one ever goes to, in which case it does nothing. You know, with those deals is things like, if we sell 90% of the stock within a week, we'll repeat buy. If we don't, you know, jog on.
I brought Rory on board 2 years ago, and he's
Because he fancies me.
a seaweed hunter.
No, it's just your supplier. Stop saying seaweed hunter, belly boy. I'm a bit upset that his belly's so close to my head. It's making me feel like I've got a massive ear.
Rory?
I've got the best job in the world. My role is to get seaweed for Fiona, so I
For my lover, Fiona.
cast a wide net. I've got harvesters scouring the beaches, the cold, lonely, clean beaches of West and East Scotland.
Full of syringes and old shoes and porn mags.
No seaweed, no sales, no profit. Thank you.
Oh, well said. Well said. She don't look too happy about what he just said then, because it was negative. She's worn down by this business. I can see it in her. This is a woman who's ready to... She's on a point of anger, mainly by frustration, because this isn't a goer. The Western palate is so far away from seaweed as a seasoning, and by Western I mean the West. You know, not England, but you know, Canada, America, Australia, England, the UK. No way. And she's been getting knocked back and knocked back and knocked back. And there comes a time when you have to admit that all the money, all the effort, but more than the money and the effort, the dream. There comes a time when the dream has got to die, and she's on that razor's edge. It's written all over her boat. That's why she didn't like that. That's not a happy face. That's a, what the fuck did you just say?
Thank you very much.
So, Fiona, Rory.
I bet he goes in on the valuation. First thing.
I get quite excited when I see a pitch come in and immediately come up with a valuation of
Nailed it.
around £3 million. So this business must be making a lot of money already. So I'm now really, really intrigued. So
What do you reckon, people? I reckon they've turned over a couple of hundred foul, max.
I'd love to get straight into that valuation because I can just see pound notes. So how much money are you making?
We're making, we made £200,000
Nailed it!
in the last 6 months.
Great. So you made £200,000 net profit in the last 6 months.
Net profit, you see, that's excellent. Very good from Jonesy, great. 200 foul profit, no revenue.
No, turnover.
There you go, they're the same thing, people. I don't mean to patronise, but some people might not know that. Shocking. How the fuck do you value a company at 3.5 mil? And this is what Shell say. Well, because next year, the year after next, year-on-year growth, you can't sell people things based on, a business based on something that hasn't happened yet. That's ridiculous. I'll sell any of you. Listen, I've got a business that's going to be worth 10 mil. You can invest in it now for £100. Send me an email, I'll give you my bank details, put £100 in, it'll be worth 10 mil because I want it to be.
No.
We turned over £200,000 worth of sales last
That's awful.
in
So your
2014.
revenue in the last. So give me the last 12 months revenue.
Was £200,000.
So why did she say the last 6 months? Maybe they've only got it in the shops in the last 6 months. It's still, it's like I said on the last one, it's a con. They're trying to pretend it's worth more. Give me money. Give me money for something that ain't worth that. And I've proved it isn't worth it by my numbers. That's insulting. Not insulting to an investor. That's insulting to a person. You don't try and get money off of someone for something that's not worth that. That's a con. You're being conned. And to do it so barefaced, this will be dreams. This is, like I said, that dream, that razor's edge of a dream that she's on. And you saw her then, she's already started kicking off. She knows what Jones is getting at, but she's like, no, because. No, because.
Gross profit?
We haven't made a profit.
I've got a company that's worth nothing. Well, I say nothing. What I mean is 3.3 mil.
Yet. We'll break even at the end of this year.
How do you know that for a start? And even if you did, that doesn't count.
Sorry, I think I need to ask that again. You've turned over 200,000.
Yeah.
She's got the anger. Here it comes.
What was your gross profit?
We expect to break even by Q4.
No, you need to answer the question.
I haven't made. We have. We are.
You don't make any gross profit?
Not yet. No.
Do you know what gross profit is?
Oh.
Yes, I know what gross profit is.
What is it?
Oh my God! And this is it. Pedro is just gently pushing her over the edge of that razor. Look at that face there. Look, that is a micro expression caught in time. That is years of frustration, years of knockbacks, years of pretending with Rory telling her a story. It's going to be fine. It's great. Look at that. It looks like it's going to explode.
Why are you? What's the question?
Who's watching this doesn't know the question, what is gross profit? That's not... these people.
The question is, what's the gross profit of your operation? And you just said you know what it is. What is gross profit?
I feel for her, though, again, because I want people to succeed, but you don't succeed in life with dreams. You succeed in life with hard work and reality, being realistic.
Gross profit is your total sales.
Yeah.
Minus your overhead.
No, it's not.
I mean, not minus your overhead, including your overhead.
No, it's not.
Shocking.
Gross profit is what you sell a product for and what you buy the product for.
So you're asking what my margin is on the product?
No, I'm asking you a very specific question. I'm saying, what is your gross profit? So...
How much have you made once you've sold the product? What's left? That's it.
I'll ask a different question. To get the sales of 200,000, how much did you pay for the seaweed and the product?
Okay, the seaweed.
What did your seaweed hunter, who looks like he's got a really long hair hanging out right? Can you see that? I'll just, if you can see my mouse, he's got a hair just there. A really attractive hair. There on the stair, right there, a little hair with seaweed. Well, I declare, go in, what is your gross profit?
It was 350,000.
You do realise in business that the idea is that you try and keep your cost of sale below the price that you sell a product for, don't you?
I mean, that is a little bit shitty of him. And that's why he's always been on Dragon's Den, because this is where the fun is. But this is a bit savage. And I think he saw the same as what I saw in her, that delicate, ready to explode, and now he's just pushing her over the edge.
Yes, but we're starting up our business.
So why do you come in and value yourself at 3 million?
Fair point.
Because we've already sold it at that.
What? Hang on, you've sold your business at 3.3 mil?
Raised
much money?
nearly £500,000. I've raised £365,000 already in the
Well, that's not 3.3 mil, is it? And was that from Rory?
last
That's big money for a brass.
3 months for the next round of this business. There's lots of serious investors.
Look, I get all of this, but do you not find this bizarre? How did you raise £350,000?
What do you mean, how did I raise it?
What? Oh, come on. Now she's... See, now, what she's done, rather than let it open, let the dream die, get real, this is what's happening, we're in trouble, we've got a product, I've overvalued it, you're right. No. She's doubled down. I mean, that we talked about this yesterday. She's answered the question with the question. How did you raise that? What do you mean, how did I raise it? Well, there's only really one way of, putting that. How did you raise it? She's fighting, and you don't want to be fighting here. Not when you've already made so many terrible mistakes.
Are you really saying that to me?
No, well, it's just... Anyway,
Fiona, I've got a question for you. Did you come in here looking for a fight?
No, not at all.
Because I've got to tell you, your approach is just, for me, completely alienating.
Yeah, but come on, Meaden, let's not pretend Pedro hasn't had a part to play in that. I'm with you. I don't think she's presenting particularly well. But, don't sit there as if you're wearing blinkers and you didn't just see that, Jonesy had his part to play in exacerbating the situation, shall we say. Oh, although that long face of hate isn't helping.
I really didn't.
And I think, Peter, you've been extremely patient. And
Peter, I think... No, he hasn't. Oh, look at him playing it up as well. No. You can't get... Meaden, Peter, I think you've been extremely patient. Would you like another cream tea and scone? Come on, Peter was immediately on the attack. He was allowed to, but he hasn't been. That was ridiculous.
And helpful, because I've got to tell you.
And helpful. He was helpful. Yeah, without a doubt, he was helpful.
If you'd done that to me.
What? You'd have given her a slap? Oh, that's a weird threat, isn't it? I'll tell you what, if you'd have done that to me and then say nothing. Well, what? If I was that woman, I'd have said, what? What would you do? What would you have done if I'd have done that to you? What, you'd have said, I'm out? Ooh. What, you'd have come over here and hit me? Grow up, Meaden. Oh.
I'm sorry about that. That's not actually what I'm like. You can ask the people I work with.
Well, I can't, can I?
Well, I work with Rory.
Yeah, but I've only got
Yeah, but Rory fancies you.
one chance. You've got... No, I haven't got one chance. I get loads of chances. I get loads of people trying to pitch to me. You have this chance.
I'm saddened by that woman, and I'm sure plenty of you are feeling that too. If you have any humanity left in this hyper-real digital apocalypse where suffering.
And you...
Well, I'm sorry. I can't rewind.
No, you
Come this
can't.
far.
No, I won't be investing, Fiona. I'm out.
Oh! She's such the demon headmistress. Rory's not breaking though.
Despite Fiona's apology, Deborah Meaden makes an early exit. Can Nick Jenkins weed out a better understanding
One trick pony Jenkins.
of Mara's financial forecast?
If I remember rightly, Nick Jenkins made his money personalised birthday cards. But about 300 mils worth. Something ridiculous like that. Yeah.
Can I just ask, are you standing here at the moment thinking, kind of wish I'd got the numbers guy standing there as well?
A little bit, but it's also I think differently. I can demonstrate to you in different ways.
But you're not demonstrating it very well at the moment. But what I want to know is, you said that you want to turn this into a £7 million export brand.
That is. I mean, I'm trying to be a bit more on her side, actually, because I think Meaden and Jonesy have been a little bit unnecessarily hostile. But it's this kind of look, it's this kind of approach, it's this kind of response that makes her dislikable. And you know, you do invest in people, often more so than you do. You know, the product's got to be good, but the person's got to be great. A good product and a bad person is a no-no. An all-right product and a great person you can make work. And she's just not... She's coming across as someone no one, apart from desperate, hasn't seen a fanny in 20 years, Rory, will work with. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
When it's turning
Oh, the old tongue. Yeah.
over 7 million, what's it going to be making in terms of profitability?
Next year it's 400, the year after it's 900, and the year after that it's 1.3, and the year after that it's 2.4.
Based on what you want it to grow? I mean, you've only been trading for 6 months, as far as I can work out, based on what you've said. So you've only got 6 months to base your growth on, and yet you've got it up to 7 mil.
In the year when it's making 2.4 million net profit, how much turnover is it making?
It's making around 8 million.
It's just fantasy. This is just fantasy.
That is around about a 30% net profit.
Yeah.
Which is massive, actually. You know, that's huge. That's a very successful business to be getting 30% net. Which, you know, it is seaweed after all. You can drag it out the water, but that's a lot of sales.
Do you know many businesses supplying in scale to supermarkets that make
We're
30%
we're
net
not
profit?
supplying. Look, I've spoken to quite a few food and drink investors, and on exit, companies like Dorset Cereals, for example, their EBITDA is around 30 to 40%.
Who was that you spoke to at Dorset Cereals?
I don't want to get involved with names.
Don't want to tell you.
Look, I think there's something in seaweed.
Oh, I think there's something in you.
And actually, I eat a lot of seaweed, so I completely get where you're coming from with it. But it's totally irrelevant because you've made it so hard for us to invest because...
You're really unpleasant.
You've come in and no matter what we ask you, you're so defensive.
She's so lovely, Sarah. Let's just have a couple of seconds to think about how lovely Sarah is.
You've come in, and no matter what we ask you, you're so defensive. But it's impossible to invest. I'm so sorry. I'm out.
That's got to be challenging. You know, she's essentially had 3 people say to her, I don't like you. And that's one of the most cutting things you can have in life. You know, that's probably one down from I don't love you. If you think about it, there's not a lot in between those, is there? You know, if you make a new friend or something, you meet someone in a boozer, just like a mate, someone you're out drinking, and then you ring them up a couple of weeks later and say, do you fancy going out for another drink? And they're like, yeah. And then 2 or 3 weeks later you ring them up and they start making excuses, and then you ring them up again and then they go, listen, I don't actually like you. That shit hurts, so I've heard.
Rejected again, and by the dragon with food credentials. But there are still 2 more fish in the sea, and Tuka Suleiman has been unusually quiet.
Oh, he loves his unusually quiet line.
Fiona, Rory, Tuka, how are you?
Hello.
Oh, he's trying to be nice. Oh, which is a nice thing to do.
Let's start again. You've
Can't.
heard everything. Let's revalue the business. Today. Right? Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make you an offer.
What now? This is the most bizarre angle I've seen in a long while. Where's Tuka going with this? So it's going to be something ridiculous. It's going to be 50%. I mean, I can't remember how much money they asked for now. Bollocks. 100 foul, I think it was. He's going to ask for either 50% or something stupid like 100%, I reckon. He's going to offer to buy it off them. This isn't going to be a standard, I'll give you X amount of money for 20%. It might be, but no, this is going to be some kind of psychological, you know, a thought experiment, dare I say. Which won't be about getting an investment or getting the business. It will be about exposing them and their lack of understanding of the reality of the position they're in the den and in the business and the market.
I'll give you all the money. I want 50%.
There you go, look, he wants half the business. Oh, I'd have loved him to have tried to buy him out. 100 would have been better, but yeah. They should jump at this, by the way. They should absolutely jump at it.
That's my offer.
And it's a fantastic offer. And look at her again. Look, she's like, what? I mean, look at that. Are you taking the piss? I haven't slept in 17 years. Take it, because you're not making any money. And he'll have that making money before you get home today. Here's my next call. They won't accept it. They won't take it. She's got her head so far up her arse, and Rory's head's up there as well, so there's even less room for manoeuvre. She won't take this.
It's a very generous offer.
Is it a serious offer?
Serious offer?
Whilst you
Well,
consider, I'll tell you where I am, then you can negotiate with him. Fiona, it's been really hard. It's been probably one of my worst experiences in the den.
Totally unnecessary. Just before I tell you I'm out, here's another jab in the heart.
Of 10 years.
Still going.
I don't know what to say, I'm lost for words.
I'm sorry I didn't manage to persuade you. I'm sorry.
No, well, in fairness, you've lied. That's what you've done. You tried to con him out of money. I do understand his anger, but this is now, again, just theatre.
But
So, Fiona, I'm not going to invest and say that I'm out.
I think I've figured that out.
Right, yeah.
No surprises there as Peter Jones exits the deal, pulling no punches with his opinions.
Strange angle for old Gregory to go for the glasses on the top of the head. I mean, is he likely to need to read paperwork on there, or is it just like a bald divider? I mean, that's also fair enough. The pair of them, look, they look like they've just been sentenced.
But they do have that unexpected lifeline of an offer from Tuka Suleiman.
They will not accept it. They will not accept it. There's half a chance they'll say they'll. I'm obviously could be wrong here, but I'll leave this in because I'm not too proud to get things wrong. Believe me. They might try and get him down to 20% or something. He won't budge. He won't budge. It's 50 or nothing. That's what I reckon, because he knows for 100 grand he can get that 100 grand back off of selling the seaweed. They do all the work. He gets his money back within a year, and then it's just a nice little tickle for him for the rest of the time the business stays afloat.
But for 47% more than the 3% they wanted to give
I forgot they only wanted to get rid of 3%. Jokes.
Away.
So I've given you a very generous offer based on what I've heard.
Are you sure?
Willingham's looking out for Tuka. Are you sure? She looks lovely in white, though. Willingham in white.
It's a very generous offer.
Can we have another wide of Willingham, please? Just if you can hear me. Time.
You want to go to the back and think about it?
Okay.
What an awful time this would-be couple have had in the den. What a terrible time they've had. We'll forward all this nonsense. Come on. Oh, they're back.
Thank you very much for your offer, but we're going to say no.
Whoa, you're stupid.
Fine, thank you.
Thank you.
So as a humble seaweed harvester, this has been an invaluable educational lesson for me, so thank you very much.
What a peculiar... How's that helping you pull seaweed out of the water? Oh, unless he's doing the off. Look, that's the first time that she's looked at him with any kind of concern. You know, he's been sniffing around her for years, but I think he's just realised what a lot of bollocks this is, and that she's not the woman for all his graft. I think he's just said that. I think he's just said, I've learnt something today, and I've learnt that this mug is a waste of my time. I really think that's what's just happened.
Thanks, Rory.
Sarah, you're so lovely. Now, usually I'll end it now to, you know, minimise copyright problems, but I want to see if there's any aftershots. Sometimes I have a little chat in the lift or something, or they have a chat with old Evan or Ewan. Someone corrected me on his name yesterday in the comments, which is, I'm always up for being corrected, but I'm kind of glad that he hasn't ever registered enough for me to know his name.
Well, Fiona and Rory had a shaky start, and it was...
Oh, the arm went round though.
Stormy waters from then on in. They leave empty-handed, unable to fathom where it all went wrong.
Here we go, this is what I was after.
Couldn't have got any worse, could it?
High risk. You've been badly advised.
Oh, high risk, you've been badly advised. Look at the body language, look. Back to her. Oh, the man who's leaving, he's off ski. He's gone. Incredible. Look, the work he's put in. Darkness.
Tuka, have you just replaced your brain with the very thing they came in to sell?
Can I just say
Seaweed.
something? Can I just say something? If they said yes, I would have got in there and sorted them out.
Yeah, and he absolutely would have done. I mean, it ain't a lot of money, is it, for him? Well, it's fuck all, really, for him.
Well,
Oh, look, it's still going on in the lift.
it's tough going for Fiona. but a braver woman I've yet to meet.
That felt like being back at school in front of the headmistress or headmaster being told.
Well, that's because you came across like a child when it comes to business. There you go, people. Another Dragon's Den in the bag. Let me know what you think in the comments. And hello to all my new subscribers. You've given me a right boost in life. Ta-da! Now, I forgot to do my magic click. But guess what? They're doing all right. You can get Mara Seaweed in Tesco's. And on this page here, they've got Mara Seaweed, find a stockist. And you can get it, it says it here, it's in 560 Tesco's nationwide. And they wouldn't have it in 500. You know, they'd have got a couple of trial shops. And if it's sold, that's when you get it across all the branches. Or 560. I don't know how many Tesco's have got. It also says somewhere else in here about Morrison's, but loads of Ocado do it, which is pretty good. It's on Amazon. What isn't? And then there's loads of Scottish places, which kind of makes sense. And there's a few, independents around England. But more interesting, here they are, is Mara Seaweed Ltd. Private limited company, so it's still incorporated. Next account's due in a couple of months. Still going. And I had a look at their filing history, and it ain't bad at all. It ain't bad at all. I mean, look at all this. At the end of 2021, cash in bank. I can't highlight these, I'm afraid. I can probably make it a bit bigger though, because it's a PDF, but I can do a bit of live editing. Live ed, I call it. There you go. Cash in bank and in hand. Over 100 foul at the end of the year, and then more. It goes down. You can have a look at all of that. Net assets at the end of 2021, over $1 million. That ain't bad at all. But more interestingly, if we zoom down, so here's all their figures. Where is it? I mean, to be honest with you, I could try and read this, but it wouldn't really make sense, because you don't want your company to look like it's making loads of money. You actually do cook your books a little bit. It's all perfectly legal, but you don't want to look like you're making loads of money, because then you get taxed on loads of money. But the interesting thing, there's a couple of interesting things. Well, as I already said, I already said it. But here's the really interesting bit. Loans to Fiona Houston, which I think is her. She's taken out a loan of in 2020, she took a director's loan, I'm assuming it's a director's loan, of 162 grand at 3% a year. There's also a couple of other director's loans of 162, or is that her other one? And then the year before that, another 162. So she's given herself a very low interest loan. That has to be paid back to the business, but there's no set time for that. That'll be, because she's the director. I'm assuming she's still the director. So she's paying herself in quite a cost and a tax efficient way there. Still going, still making money. One other thing I want to show you, if I can just sort this out and bodge it quickly. Actually, I'll do the click. Okay, so when he was talking, when Peter Jones questioned her about gross profit, you might have heard him say EBITDA.
Look, I've spoken to quite a few food and drink investors, and on exit, companies like Dorset Cereals, for example, their EBITDA is around 30 to 40%.
Which is a weird old word, but this is what it is. E plus I plus T plus D plus A. So earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation and amortisation. Simple enough. All of those are simple, apart from perhaps amortisation. Amortisation is, if you're paying back a loan, in the early days of a loan, you're going to be tending to be paying back interest. But as those payments grow, throughout the term of repayments, it amortises and you end up paying back the principal loan amount. That's all amortisation is. So, like, if you're trying to sell your business, they'll ask for your end of year figures, but they'll also ask for your EBITDA figures, which is where you've sort of, you know, made it look a bit more impressive, because companies understand that you don't necessarily want to, you know, you want to make your business look great to someone who wants to buy it, but not so good to the tax man without breaking the law. And there's ways of doing both of those things. Interesting. Sprinkle a bit of seaweed on your day. Ta-da!
Sweet, sweet.